2023 Coach of the Year winners. We appreciate Justin's continued support for our association. Thank you, Mark, for all your years of service to us. Also, I'd like to give special thanks to Sweet Lou, Jeff Zader, and Steve Crawl, who are conducting our Hall of Fame press conference tonight and with our inductees. They are also recording the banquet speeches tonight, and within 48 hours they'll have those up on YouTube, so you can go check those out. If you search Indiana High School Baseball Coaches Association 2024, you'll be able to find those. So we want to thank Jeff and Steve for their continued interest and support of Indiana High School baseball. As president of our association, I'd like to thank all of our coaches, past and present, that have worked long hours to make our events happen. Without the volunteer efforts of our membership, our all-star games, player and coaching accolades, and tonight's Hall of Fame banquet would not exist. So I'd like to encourage all of our coaches to continue to get involved in our association and make your voices heard and participate. Whether you're volunteering to help our futures games, or serve on a committee, or simply vote for our Player of the Year awards, you're making a difference. We need your support and your continued involvement. Finally, I know we don't hear it enough as coaches, but I'd like to say thank you to all of you as coaches who commit your time to our players and our communities. As we know, coaching can be a thankless job, and it's a thankless profession, but at the end of the day, you're all making a difference. So I just want to say thank you for all of our coaches. Thank you for coming tonight. Good luck to all of our coaches for the 2024 season. So now I'll turn it back over to Jeff as he will present some of our coaching awards for this year.
Thank you, Ryan. If hopefully everybody was able to receive a Hall of Fame program at your desks. If you look at the program, you actually see on page 4 in it, you start seeing the layout of the program. You can kind of see how things are going to progress as we go on. Additionally, in the program, there'll be some other information. You'll see some past Hall of Famers, our Indiana Players of the Year, and so forth and so on. So if you get a chance, look at the program. It'll also help you follow along as we go. Now normally, and I have to say, one of our members could not be here tonight. There was something that came up for him. So unfortunately, you have me to take the place, but we miss our Assistant Executive Director, which is Mr. Phil McIntyre, who couldn't be here, so I have to take over for his duties. And hopefully we're ready out there. Gary, we good? All right. So, if you're looking at the list, you'll notice that the first thing on the agenda is the 2023 Victory Club Award winners. What this represents are coaches that reached one of the Victory Club milestones during the 2023 season, whether it's the 100th win, 200 win, and so forth. So tonight, we'd like to honor those coaches that reached those milestones. All right. So, you notice there are some coaches on the list. Not all coaches can be here tonight. Of course, couldn't brave the weather or whatever the case may be. But those that are here with the 100-win mark, I'd like to congratulate Dan Thurston at Southwestern Hanover High School. At 300 wins, from Westfield High School, Mr. Ryan Bennell. Also at 300 wins, from The Oak Hill High School, Mr. Shane Edwards. Reaching the 500 win mark, formerly from Lawrence North, he is newly retired, Mr. Rich Wisenreed. And reaching the hefty 800 win mark from Penn High School, Mr. Greg Dykes. Now, if you actually turn to page Page 4 in the program, you'll see a list of the 2023 District Coaches of the Year. We have 16 districts in the state of Indiana, comprising of all the high schools. Each district every year votes on their Coach of the Year, and these are the representatives. Of course, I'm only going to mention the ones that are actually in attendance today. In District A, from Lake Central High School, Mike Schwartzentruber. From District B, from New Prairie High School, Mark Schillinger. From District C, already been announced once, from Penn High School, Greg Dykos. From District D, from Fort Wayne Carroll High School, and a Hall of Fame inductee tonight, Mr. Dave Ginder. From District E, from Western High School, Ryan Berryman. From District G, from Center Grove High School, Mr. Keith Hatfield. From District J, from Lafayette Harrison High School, Mr. Pat Lowry. From District K, from Noblesville High School, Justin Keever. From District L, from Gering Catholic High School, Keith Nunley. District M, from Clay City High School, Mr. Larry Shaw. From District N, from Seymour High School, Jeremy Ritchie. District O, from Forest Park High School, Jared Howard. And our final district of the night, District P, from Evansville Central High School, Mr. Robbie Frank. Congratulations to all our District Coaches of the Year and Victory Club members. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to reintroduce the IHSBCA Executive Director, Mr. Brian Abbott, to present the IHSBCA Jostens State Coach of the Year Awards.
Does anybody help me flip? Which one now?
All right, while Mark's making his way down to the front, real quick announcement in the morning, coaches, 7:30, I forgot to mention this earlier. We have an FCA breakfast early. I know it's getting up early. I announced that too because Coach Maloney, raise your hand back there. You're in attendance this evening. Rich is speaking in the morning, so I'm sure there'll be some very good things shared. So 7:30, we'll be meeting right back here. We do have coffee, food for breakfast, so make sure you try to get there. All right, I'm going to do the Coach of the Year Awards, and obviously we have some outstanding coaches in the state of Indiana, and you're going to see as we name these coaches, we got some multiple titles. We got people in our Hall of Fame. We got Victory Club Award winners. We got a lot of things. We got 18 state titles wrapped up in these 4 guys. So, very impressive group this year. Mark Flickinger is down here from the Jostens Ring Company to help with the presentation, and I believe Andy McLean is going to be down there also. Andy, wave to the crowd, let everybody know who you are. All right, Class A. The state coach of the year in Class A was Tim Bourdonnais from Lafayette Central Catholic. Lafayette Central Catholic beat Bar Reeve 1-0 in the state finals this year. This is Tim's 9th title. They were 25-11 last year, and he would like to thank his family, his coaching staff, and the Central Catholic community. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Bourdonnais. Class 2A, we have Jeff Vanderwood from Ileana Christian. They defeated Covenant Christian 3-0 in the last year's state finals. They were 25-9, and that was Coach's second title. And he also would like to thank his coaching staff and his family and the Indiana Christian community. Jeff Vanderwood. Special night for our Class 3A inductee. Also going into our Hall of Fame, first state title, 26-7. Beat Andrean in the state finals, 4-2. Mr. Joe Decker from Silver Creek High School. Joe wants to save all his thank yous for his speech, but I said we better put your wife and your family in there nonetheless. So, can't wait to hear it. Class 4A, guy just got a certificate for District Coach of the Year, 800 wins, 6 state titles. They defeated Center Grove 2-0 in the state final. Outstanding ball game, great program. Mr. Greg Dykos from Penn High School. Greg also would like to thank his family and his staff and the Penn community for everything. And a special thank you to Coach Stanton, who he said did a great job with the pitching staff this year. Ladies and gentlemen, our 4 state coaches of the year. Jeff McKeon will return to the microphone.
First, I'll say again, myself, congratulations to all the District Coach of the Year, State Coach of the Year, and Victory Club members. Now we get to go on to the next portion of our event, which is all about the Hall of Fame. One of the nice things about this event is that not only do we get to induct 5 new members to the Hall of Fame, we also get to reflect and honor those that have been in the Hall of Fame in the past that are here in attendance. So I'm going to announce all the past Hall of Famers that are here. If you would be so kind, past Hall of Famers, to stand up to be recognized and remain standing, please, while I go through the whole list. All right? If your significant other is here, would they please stand up with them as well? I will go in reverse chronological order with the most recent first. From the 2021-2022 induction class, from Crown Point High School, Mr. Steve Strayer. Where's he at? I know he's here. Or he was here anyway. Also from 21-22 induction class from New Albany High School, Chris McIntyre. Please stand up and remain standing. From the 21-22 induction class, longtime official from Kokomo, Mr. James Robinson. If you guys can hold your applause to the end, we get everybody because long list on this one. From the 2020 induction class, coach from LaPorte High School, Scott Upp. From Eastbrook Huntington North High School, Mr. Brian Abbott. From the 2018 induction class, from Gary West High School and former Major League Baseball player, Mr. LaTroy Hawkins. From the 2014 induction class, from Benton Central, Coach Gary DeHaven. And I believe, Gary, your wife is here? Yes. From the 2012 induction class, from Lafayette Central Catholic High School, Mr. Tim Bourdonnais. Also from the 2012 induction class, from Western High School, Coach Ty Calloway. From the 2011 induction class, from Penn High School, Mr. Greg Dykos. From the 2008 induction class, currently at Cesena, when he was inducted from Center Grove High School, Coach Dave Gandolf. From the 2007 induction class, from Jasper High School, Coach Terry Gobert. From the 2007 induction class, from Newport, Mr. Dyer Miller. From the 2006 induction class, from Andrean High School, Coach Dave Pitchker. From the 2000 induction class, from Noblesville High School, Mr. Denny Kass. From the 1998 induction class, from McCutcheon High School, Coach Jake Burton. One I skipped, I'm sorry, from the 2015 induction class, from Decatur Central High School, currently now at Martinsville High School, Coach Phil Webster. From the 1996 induction class, from Madison High School, Coach Gary O'Neill. And from the 1990 induction class, our Hall of Fame director from Jasper High School, Coach Ray Howard. Is there any Hall of Famers that I have missed? At this, Don Sherman. From the induction class of 1992. From Huntington High School, Coach Don Sherman. I apologize, Coach Sherman. All right. Please now give a round of applause to our past Hall of Famers. Again, a luxury of this event is reflecting on our former Hall of Fame members as well as our inductees. At this time, 2007 Hall of Fame inductee Mr. Terry Gobert from Jasper will introduce our Hall of Fame Spotlight member. Coach Gobert.
Thank you very much. Tonight's spotlight, you see it in your program, George Ferris, class of 2004. He's being honored tonight for more than his 656 wins over 38 years of high school coaching. George is a true class act, one of the most respected men in our profession, who continues to help the Coaches Association and specifically this convention. George couldn't be here today, but he's doing well at home, and he is truly a class act. And would you join me in giving a round of applause in honor of this great man, George Ferris. Thank you. Speaking of great men, it's my pleasure to introduce 1990 Hall of Fame inductee and our executive director. This man puts everything he's got into our Hall of Fame, and it's one of the finest Hall of Fames in the nation. Former Jasper coach, Mr. Ray Howard. Please welcome him.
It'll be my honor to be able to introduce all of the inductees this evening. Dean Lehrman, 45 years of coaching and still coaching. At Heritage, played for 4 years, and he pitched there before going on to IPFW, where he also pitched for 4 years. In addition to coaching baseball, coached football for 41 years. 6 of those where he was a head coach at Heritage. In addition to the accomplishments that are noted in your program, he was noted and recognized in the IHSBCA Hall of Fame in 2021. And now he becomes the 211th member of the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame. Please welcome Coach Dean Lehrman.
Thank you, sir. I would like to begin with a personal special thanks to Mr. Brian Abbott. I know Brian Abbott is tireless in his efforts to hold the line on the cost of this banquet and many other things. And personal thanks. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not about me. As David Ross once said, I'm truly humbled and extremely blessed to be here today in the company of such great human beings. I want to offer my sincere congratulations to the real superheroes here tonight, my fellow coaches, all of you. In particular, Coach Dave Ginder of the two-time state champion Carroll Chargers and Coach Joe Decker of the current 3A state champion Silver Creek Dragons. My grandson loves the nickname of your team. It's the greatest thing. Ironically, or not, we three share a love of teaching mathematics, coaching and teaching, analytics, statistics. Back in the day, when I was young and foolish, I was taking, not teaching classes. The next big thing was OR, operations research, predictable outcomes based on repeatable techniques. Huh? Who'd have thunk? Clayton Richard, congratulations, sir. Go Blue. The team, the team, the team. The standard is the standard. My favorite, the 144th. Mr. Richard, sir, I was right there in person at the North-South All-Star Series at Indiana Tech University in Fort Wayne when you launched a towering blast over the right field fence out into the street, shattering a passenger window of an unsuspecting car. This was brought up in the media discussion, and I know pitchers, for a fact, always would rather talk about their hitting. Brian Bullington, the pride of Ball State University, Muncie, Indiana. What a gifted, talented big arm. For people of my generation, you were the greatest thing to come out of Ball State since David Letterman. Seriously, my sincere congrats, sir. No, this is not about me. I would not be here without my loving parents, Donald Henry and Janice Sue. No doubt, bursting with pride as they looked down from above. My dad graduated from Monroeville High School in 1949. He then served in the U.S. Army in Germany during the years leading up to the Korean War. Thus began the source of my introduction to yes sir, no sir, and of course the more formal sir, yes sir. My mom graduated from Hoagland High School in 1948, did some postgraduate work and became an RN, working at Parkview Memorial Hospital in Fort Wayne, before taking time out to raise 4 kids, then returning to work as a school nurse before retiring from Heritage High School. Thus, my introduction to service. My dad spent 33 years as a UAW worker, laborer at International Harvester heavy-duty trucks in Fort Wayne before they closed the doors and moved the company to Springfield. My brother, 2 sisters, and I grew up on a small farm, rural setting, and my dad would arrive home like clockwork every day, no doubt exhausted, but never once refusing my relentless requests to have a catch or hit some fly balls. Thus, my introduction to my love of the game. But this is not about me. I really would not be here without the IHSBCA Veterans Committee. My heartfelt thanks go out to Joe, Ray, Dyer, Ken, Polly, and George. Also, very much gratitude to my IHSBCA liaisons, Jeff McKeon and Ray Howard. Your help throughout this entire process was very much appreciated. At our table tonight, I'd like to recognize and formally thank the members of our immediate family. Our daughter Cameron with her husband Jeremy. Cameron was a great student manager in our program before following her dad's footsteps into education. Didn't let her slow her down. She's now a principal at Summerfield Schools in Michigan. She is one of my heroes. Our son Derek, his wife Amy could not make it tonight. Derek carried our program for 4 years, spent a stellar 4 years at Eastern Michigan University and the MAC before signing as an undrafted free agent with the Detroit Tigers. He has a degree in actuarial science, math. So very proud. Our youngest son and his wife, McKenna, currently live on the left coast in Lincoln City, Oregon. They could not be here tonight, thus the 2 empty seats. Both graduated from Manchester University, where Ryan played both football and baseball. Played baseball for Coach Espacet, one of the most successful programs in the Heartland Conference. And of course, my wife, Janice. My compass, my lighthouse, my North Star, my equal in all we've accomplished. So very proud of all 7 of you. You're all my heroes. Members of our extended family at the table include Dustin Butcher, current head baseball coach at the University of St. Francis in Fort Wayne, former Patriot player. You may have noticed during the introduction a still photo of a rather cocky young man wearing number 3, leaning on his bat, standing beside me near the third base coach's box. When I told Dustin about this photo a couple of weeks ago, he went into a detailed dissertation about which baseline he was supposed to bunt towards. I'd completely forgotten everything. He reportedly then fouled off an attempt each way and banged a double off the wall. This was at the old Memorial Stadium in Fort Wayne. So much for great coaching strategy. In any case, I'm very proud of you, Dustin. Our current varsity staff includes Coach Scott Lewis, acclaimed pitching coach of one Andrew Sawfrank, of the most recent World Series runner-up Arizona Diamondbacks, and Coach Mike Huffman, our hitting coach guru. The aforementioned Derek Lehrman, our defensive coordinator, and myself. Fun fact, within this calendar year, our varsity staff ages will be 70, 60, 50, and 40. The staff has been together now longer than any other staff I've had. And I'm going to quote from a favorite book. When assembling a coaching staff, my goal was always to be the dumbest guy in the coach's room. And I've greatly exceeded my expectations. But this is not about me. Every coach worth his salt can drone on cold, hard stats about members of college players, D1 kids, minor and major leaguers. Though I retired from teaching in 2020, I was truly blessed to have taught calculus and trigonometry. Blessed to have had students who really wanted to be there, who really tried and put in the effort to succeed. We were blessed through the years. We were blessed to have a 16-year-old catcher. By that I mean when he graduated, he had just turned 16. He had taken the National Calc AB exam and scored a perfect 5. He went on to graduate summa cum laude from Notre Dame. Not too many years later, both of his parents succumbed to cancer. And now he's out there in the world making a difference every day. Artie Belschner is my hero. We had a first baseman, left-handed pitcher. Hardest working kid I've ever seen. Crazy madman in the weight room. He's now a highly decorated member of FWPD, Fort Wayne Police Department, after spending a few years in the seedy world of undercover narcotics, putting his life on the line every day to save kids from soulless dealers of fentanyl and other poisons. Aaron Johnson is my hero. A young woman, studied very hard in school, and then out in the real world, she worked even harder. She advanced to the top of her profession among Indiana business women. Not only that, she delivered 3 of our grandchildren. Any of these would qualify her as a hero. But then she donated her own kidney to save her brother. And that is why Amy Lehrman is my hero. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to most graciously thank each and every one of you for your patience, for indulging an old man in his rants. I want to thank all players, coaches, parents, fans, and officials, both for and against our Heritage Patriots. Without all of you, I would not be here tonight. I will close with a quote I recently read from Shaquille O'Neal. The older you get, the more you realize how precious life is. You have no desire for drama, no desire for conflict or stress. You just want good friends, a cozy home, good food on the table, and people who make you happy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for making me happy.
Brian Bullington. He's 3 years of varsity ball in Madison. He was 36-4 with 266 strikeouts and was state champs in 1999, which did two things. It made Gary O'Neill very happy and convinced people in Madison that he actually knew what he was talking about. The famous whistle. He used to come to Jasper and he'd stand in the third base coaching box all day long. Nothing but that whistle. Aggravated the heck out of our people, but he was well appreciated. Foregoing MLB baseball after high school, he attended Ball State University, where he established himself as one of the MAC's best pitchers in that conference. Still holds the MAC conference today the record for career and single season strikeouts. Only second MLB draft #1 draft pick to come from the state of Indiana. The #1 was in 1986. It was Andy Bennis, signed with the San Diego Padres. Brian had a 13-year major league career. In 2014, he was inducted into the Ball State University Hall of Fame. In 2020, in the MAC Hall of Fame. And now he becomes the 212th inductee into the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame. Please welcome Brian Bullington.
Thank you to the IHSBCA and the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame for this incredible honor. Congratulations to all the other inductees on your careers and your contributions to this game. You have a lot to be proud of, and I'm honored to be a part of the 2024 class. Going through the Hall of Fame induction process has helped me realize a couple things. First, speech writing does not come easy to me. This has taken several forms, and I've scrapped several versions. Hopefully we'll all make it through this together in one piece tonight. Second, and where I've spent most of my time the last few weeks, was this process really gave me an opportunity to reflect on my playing career and think more about each step along the way. I've been fortunate to have a lot of wonderful people in my life that saw enough in me to help me continue to progress, both as a player and as a person. I'm thankful for this opportunity tonight to stand up here and thank them all properly. I'd first like to thank my parents, Larry and Mary Bullington, along with my sister Megan. They have supported me from the very beginning, and I'm thankful that they're all here tonight. Obviously, our parents play a very big role in the people that we become and the things that we become interested in. My story is no different. I'm the son of 2 teachers that were former athletes themselves, and my dad was a high school basketball coach here in Indiana. As a young kid, I lived in the gym, rarely missing a game or practice. I idolized his teams and wanted nothing more than to play for him at the high school level. My dream was to one day play college basketball. Obviously, my path took a different turn, but he always challenged me to be the best player that I could be and to find a way to continue to get better every day. He was always available to rebound for me, and I don't think he ever turned down a chance to play catch. I'm so thankful for the time we shared on the court and on the baseball field. And for all the moms out there, you know the role that you play in your kids' lives. We couldn't do any of it without you. Whether it was basketball or baseball, my mom was always in the stands and always my biggest fan. Not to mention the laundry, the sack lunches, the help with homework, the rides to practice, knowing when I needed a pep talk or a kick in the ass. She did it all, and as a parent now myself, I'm so appreciative of the time and effort it took to give us what we needed. Thank you both, and I love you. I couldn't have had a better high school baseball experience than what I had in Madison. Before culture was a buzzword, we had it. Hall of Fame coach Gary O'Neill, along with Coach Maude and Coach Kring, taught the game in a way that was challenging and fun. They knew when to push us and when to lighten the mood. Our teams in Madison had the right mix of talent and personality, and I don't think I ever had as much fun playing the game as I did during my high school years. The Madison baseball program is such a part of my story and continues to be today, as a few of my former teammates and lifelong friends who are here tonight are now running the program. I'd say that during my time in Madison, I really learned to love the game of baseball, and I realized at that point that I wanted to play it as long as I could. Thank you to Coach O'Neill and the entire Madison baseball program. When I committed to Ball State, I had no idea the effect this decision would have on my life and my future. I was immediately impressed with Coach Maloney and the path that the Ball State program was on at the time. Coach Maloney is a dreamer, and he thoroughly believes in his people and what they're capable of. He's able to see things in his players that they don't know exist at the time. He's a fierce competitor and works tirelessly to get the most out of his players. He's been a huge influence on my life since I first met him at the age of 17. His faith, values, and love for the game are infectious. He helped me visualize and act out a plan that would make the dream of professional baseball a reality. He was able to walk the tightrope of inspiring you with positive feedback and knowing just when to challenge you to get the most out of you. I'm blessed that he's still a mentor of mine, and I'm so thankful that I chose Ball State all those years ago. Thank you, Coach Maloney and Ball State Baseball. As I mentioned, my decision to attend Ball State had a big effect on my life. Not only did I have a great baseball experience, but I also met my future wife during our freshman year. Lauren, thank you for being my partner and best friend through all that we've experienced. From dorm room euchre games in La Follette Hall to 7-hour minivan rides with 3 kids under the age of 4, bouncing from one minor league stop to the next. You've been there for all of it. You are open to the idea of Japan, which was a life-changing decision for all of us in so many ways. You've always been up for a challenge and seem to find a way to find the positive side in any situation. You're the toughest and most competitive person I know, and you continue to push me to be better every day. You're a great mom, coach, and teacher, and I thank you for going on this ride with me. I love you. And to our kids, Bella, Matt, Jack, I'm so proud of the people that you're growing into, and I'm so excited to be alongside you as you figure out where life will take you. I only hope that you are able to find people in your lives that will help you like the people I had. And thank you for reminding me continually that I'm not nearly as funny as I think I am. I love you guys. Baseball in Indiana gave me more than I ever could have imagined. I played the game at every possible level in the state. From Little League all the way to AAA with the Indians. It was an incredible ride. And finally, I want to thank everybody in this room. It's you, the coaches at all levels, that will continue to push the game forward and inspire the next generation. A lot of things have changed in baseball in the last 10 to 15 years. The way it's taught, the way it's evaluated, the way it's analyzed. Please continue to be open to change and to continue to learn from others. But also understand that the truths you all learned years ago still ring true. You still have to catch it, throw it, and hit it. Strike one still matters, and line drives will always play. New drills and stats will continue to be developed, but at the end of the day, the enjoyment of this game has always been about the people and the relationships formed while playing it, coaching it, watching it. Thank you for your time tonight and allowing me to thank some of the people that have helped me along the way. Thank you.
Coach Dave Ginder, teaching math at Carroll, and in 22 years as baseball coach there as well. A graduate of Carroll, also graduated where he played at Anderson University, where in 1995 he was named the ICAC Player of the Year. He was highly successful as a coach and as a player, highlighted just partially by his 4-time being District Coach of the Year and twice state champions, back-to-back 2010, 2011. It doesn't happen very often. And also in both of those years, he was recognized as a IHSBCA Coach of the Year. In 2022, he was inducted into the NEIBCA Hall of Fame. And now he becomes the 213th inductee into the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame. Would you please welcome Dave Ginder.
I'd like to thank the IHSBCA for the recognition and honor to be recognized for something that was never a goal. I'd like to congratulate the others being honored tonight because it's truly an honor for myself, my family, our players, Carroll High School, my staff. I'd like to thank Denny Cass for making the nomination and the other fellow coaches who voted. I need to recognize a few individuals who've been part of our success, and I could argue they are the reason for our success. I can't say enough about my family. My wife, Kristen, my kids, Langston, here tonight with his wife, Anna. Dresden, her fiance, Owen, and Jansen, who I believe our youngest is joining us on FaceTime as she's out at Grand Canyon University. Their support of being a coach's family has always been great. They supported during crazy hours, phone calls, late nights, trying to make our crazy schedules work at home with our baseball schedule. At one point, Kristen was coaching 2 softball teams. I was coaching 2 baseball teams. Needless to say, it was a crazy spring. Kristen, you are a Hall of Famer for making it work. Their love and support of me and the Chargers have never wavered. My kids have grew up at the ballpark. I can remember loading up the bikes in the back of the car so they could ride on the warning track or play at the Hickory Center playground while I did field work or mowed. I remember them running onto the field to be able to take a joyride in the back of the Gator and then have a post-game cleanup. I can remember Langston jumping in the dugout at an early age, dreaming of one day to be a Charger. Kristen, Langston, Dresden, Jansen, you are the rock of Carroll baseball, and those in the room know tonight it takes a strong family to support us. Thank you for your love, your support, and your prayers. To my coaches, we grew up playing against each other. I've been fortunate enough to keep them in my dugout now. Brett Widmiller has been my right-hand man since day one. We've been together for 600 games, and we enter our 22nd season this spring. His knowledge is second to none. Jason Lance has been with us for 15 years, and then my twin brother Dan coached previously with us before jumping into administration and is currently our AD. Even as our athletic director, still many nights year-round, we talk baseball. He'll even join us in the concession stand, cleaning up, eating a bad hot dog, talking about the game, players, and probably solving the world's problems. Those three men could have easily been head coaches, but I bet their loyalty and consistency are the reason for the success that we've shared. Other names who have shared in our success: Annie McManamall, Sheldon Van Pelt, Ryan Schwab, Elliott Ford, Joe Rudolph, Don Nichols, Matt Vince, Mike Klopfenstein, Andy Papaganis, John Timmerman, and Dave Hay, just to name a few. All these men have been great help and poured into the lives of our kids. I started as an assistant coach under Chris Adams. Coach Adams came to Carroll my sophomore season and changed our program immediately. I was fortunate to come back as a young coach and be his assistant and learn so much from Coach. Coach got our program off the ground years ago and laid a great foundation. I truly believe the program is not mine, but all of ours. I can't say enough about the importance of all the men over the years who've been part of our program, and our success is directly related to them, and I'm honored to have their loyalty. I'd be mistaken not to say anything about my other family members. My brother Park, who was also a high school baseball coach, was a sounding board and someone I bounced ideas off of. My parents, the enormous amount of time they spent at the field, whether I was playing or coaching, they've not missed many games over the years, and if they have, it was probably to watch another Ginder on a different field. Your loyalty to the Chargers does not go unnoticed. I've been lucky to coach my son, coach 3 of my nephews along the way, experiences I would not have traded. I've got a table full of other family members tonight, and their support in the background of their prayers and support is greatly appreciated. To our players, I say thank you. It'd be impossible to name all of them, and we all know without them, none of this is possible. Their abilities and effort has always been great. The memories and personality that each team brings is a joy to be a part of. We often talk about our players, our past players, and are proud of them and so honored to be a small part of their journey. So many memories along the way. I thought we had the team in our early in our career, but an early 1-0 loss in a game in the sectional, in a game we hit into 5 double plays. I remember asking Brett on the way home, will we ever have a better opportunity? A few other times I felt we were so close. My dad was a basketball coach growing up, and when talking about some of his really good teams, wouldn't say we're going to win or anything. I'd just say it's at our fingertips. So close. So close I felt several times we had championships at our fingertips, but we tell our kids all the time, winning's hard. It's never easy. The wins did come along the way in 2010 and 2011 were absolutely incredible. Incredible performance by our kids, walk-off wins, playing teams that were just loaded with talent, but our kids just competed. They may not have been the best players, and on paper, people didn't give us much of a shot, but nobody competed harder between the lines. And I believed, and they believed in each other. Even the teams that didn't win championships, we're proud of them for their being a part of the Carroll baseball family. I could talk hours about Carroll baseball, and I apologize for anyone I may have missed, as so many great people and families have been involved to make Carroll baseball what it is today.
Years ago, the Lord blessed me with this opportunity, and I can't imagine being able to lead a better group of people. This is truly an honor for Carroll Baseball, and I proudly accept this recognition on behalf of so many others. Thank you again to the IHSBCA for the recognition this evening. I can honestly say I'm proud to be called coach. Thank you.
Joe Decker. Brings a lot of reaction from folks depending on where you are. Another successful math teacher. That's 3 of them tonight. I'm glad we didn't have any kind of a math contest or a math test. But successful teachers as well as coaches. 2 stints for Joe at Silver Creek, separated by a 4-year stint where he coached at IU Southeast. His teams have tremendous success at many levels. Currently, they're on a 16 conference win in their conference, which is the, what do we call it, the Mid-South Conference. He's currently in the midst of a 65-game winning streak in that Mid-South Conference. That doesn't happen just overnight. His career is highlighted also. Last year, had an opportunity to witness the 3A state championship game in which Silver Creek became the state champion. He was also noted, as we recognize here this evening, for that accomplishment as the 2023 Coach of the Year in 3A. We're pleased to have, as the 214th inductee into the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame, please recognize Mr. Joe Decker.
Thank you. Number one goal is to get through this without bawling like a baby, so we'll see what we can do. Only fitting that Brian Bullington and I are inducted in the same year after the battles we had when he was at Madison with Coach O'Neill and I was at Silver Creek early on. So I went back and looked to see so I could have some good stats of, you know, what those battles were like. And we were 0-4 against Mr. Bullington and Mr. O'Neill by a combined score of 35-3. So I felt like we were right there, you know. And to be honest, I don't even think he had to pitch Brian. I don't think Brian ever pitched against us. So, when I was first called about being nominated, you know, it's a ton of emotion of you're just honored and blessed and that whole thing. But I went back and looked. I started to go back and look at all of the guys that are in the Hall of Fame already. You know, Coach Gobert, Coach Pishker, Coach Gandalf, Coach O, Wayne Stock, and you just sit there and you're like, you know, I'm not worthy of this, you know. And then I finally got down to one name about 10 rows later, and I'm like, I'm as good as that guy. Like, I got one, so as long as I had one, I felt like I was good to go. But again, truly, again, you can't even say it the right way. Humbled and blessed is an understatement to be in the company of the guys that are being inducted tonight and that have come before us. Many thanks to first off, my wife, for always being there for me, for our family. Unless you're a baseball family or sports family, you really don't understand the sacrifice that they go through, especially during the spring. My daughter and my 2 sons the sacrifices they make so I can do something that I love over a 30-year period. Thanks to my parents, again, always being my #1 fans. Very rarely do they ever miss a game. To this day, they're always there to support. My assistant coaches, former coaches that I've had in the past, Terry Davidson, Tommy Lau, Brian Hargett when I was at IUS. But the current assistants, Richie Ware, Ryan Wheeler, Scott Jennings, Jacob Barnett, Brent Falcone, J.D. Ehringer, Noah Bays, that are all at those 2 tables right there. Silver Creek baseball is what it is because of those guys. I would not be here without them and their dedication to the program and sacrifices that they've made. And I am truly grateful to everything they've done. Coach Ginder, I was up here like, he's balling like a sissy. I don't know what his problem is. To my coaching colleagues that I could always call and bounce things off of, Craig Trout, who's here, Jared Howard, who's somewhere in the back, Greg Opal, Dan Thurston, Jonesy. I always felt that if I ever needed something, and I know they felt the same way, we were able to bounce stuff off of each other and really help each other become better coaches while we were doing what we do. I also want to thank all the great umpires we had over the years. You both know who you are. But on a serious note, I coached for a long time. I was at Silver Creek for a very long time, and some of you know our family story, but in March of 2012, a tornado destroyed Henryville, Indiana. Our house was one of those houses that was destroyed in that tornado. My wife and my 2 kids were in the basement. My wife laid on top of our kids. She had lost both of her legs in that tornado, but our kids walked out without a scratch. That's enough about her. This is supposed to be about me, so we're good there. But my perspective on baseball and everything changed that day. It was always important to me, and I thought I had things in perspective, but I really didn't. The next day I went to the house, and looking at the house, there was no place that you could look where you're like, somebody could have lived through what had just happened. And I told myself from that moment, with my kids being alive, my wife was alive, like, I'm good. Like, it's going to be okay. And all those guys sitting at those tables were there for our family, were there for our baseball program. And again, it changed your priorities, but it also, going on with our staff and our program, it was like, yeah, we're going to focus on baseball, but this is about way more than just being a baseball coach. And I think that, it was a blessing in our life, looking back on it. We have a few things that we call Dragon Absolutes in our baseball program, and they're the things you have to do to play for us. And I kind of in parting, I got a couple things that I kind of made up as I consider coaching absolutes. Number 1, surround yourself with good people and let them do their thing. Like, give them the freedom to do what they do and let them do it. Number 2, love your players. Develop lifelong relationships with your players. That is a missed opportunity that I wish I knew when I started as a 23-year-old. I wish I knew then what I know now, and that missed opportunity that I had back then. Don't reinvent the wheel. Steal everything except signs. That would be wrong. Coach Gobert at Jasper, we told our program a long time ago, we'd be like those guys. See how they play, do what they do. Coach O'Neill, back when I played against him and when I was in high school, running his fake pickoff first to third, we stole that a couple times. That won us a couple games, by the way, Coach, thank you. Go into ABCA, the stuff you get from those guys, clinics like this. Soak all that in. You don't have to, I have no original thoughts in my entire body. I'm telling you. Everything we get, we just pick what we think's relevant and we steal it from other people. Number 4, keep it at 17 inches. See, I said steal everything. You older guys will know what that is. But keep it at 17 inches. Number 5, it's not just a game. As a coach, you have a gift and a responsibility of being one of the most influential people in hundreds of young men's lives. Don't take that lightly, okay? But also use it as an opportunity to make a difference with those guys. And then last, and this is one of our Dragon absolutes, leave it better than you found it. That's one of my things. Leave it better than you found it. And I truly hope with Silver Creek baseball that I did leave it better than I found it. I'm close. But thank you for everybody for bearing with me as I get through this. Again, I can't tell you how honored I am, and proud to be a Dragon. Thank you.
Clayton Richard, perhaps one of the very few honored multi-sport athletes honored that we've had in the state of Indiana. Went through high school at McCutcheon, 4 times All-State football player and All-American, Mr. Football in 2002, basketball 1,000-point club and rebound records. Baseball, 4 years, led McCutcheon to their 2nd state title in a short 5-year span, and in 2003 was also named Mr. Baseball. Football, baseball, Michigan, till chosen in the 5th round, 2005 draft by the White Sox. Spent most of his major league career with the Padres. Always one to serve and give back. He now coaches quarterbacks in the fall, as the head baseball coach at Lafayette Jeff in the spring. We're pleased to announce the 215th inductee into the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame. Please welcome Clayton Richard.
Thank you to the association, everyone up here. It's probably hard to comprehend, because I know I can't comprehend how hard you guys work to put something like this on, and to always be there for us coaches who always seem to need something. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to McCutcheon High School. Thank you to Jeff High School. Thank you to Coach Burton. I have so much to thank, so much thanks for Coach Burton. But one thing that sticks out is in 1971, before I was born, he took his first baseball coaching job at West Point, Indiana. Most of you probably don't know where that's at. There are not many roads in West Point, and there's fewer paved. There was a kid on his team that would ride his bike in from outside of West Point through the dirt road and find his way to the field. And Coach Burton always made sure he had a ride home. He left a mark on that kid, that 14-year-old. He left an impression for how he was going to develop into a person and become a man. And thank you for making such an impression on my dad. I appreciate it. Coach Maloney. Coach Maloney's here. He coached Brian and myself. Thank you for giving me a chance to play baseball at Michigan. I went there to play football. It did not work out how we had envisioned. Rose Bowl ended, get back to Ann Arbor. He goes, come with me, we're gonna go and hit. So me being a competitor, I'm like, all right, let's go hit. I haven't picked up a bat in a year or two, but foolishly at 19 or whatever, you think you're gonna hit anybody. So we go into Ushabon, the indoor facility, thinking I'm gonna go, he's gonna have his best pitcher out there and I'm gonna hit off him. And we pull in, we go in, he's got a tee set up. I take a couple swings, he goes, all right, that's enough. Last time I touched a bat at Michigan. Coach Maloney, thank you for the opportunity. Was drafted out of Michigan because of the opportunity I got on the field. I really appreciate it. All of the coaches I had that never pressured me to play another sport while I was in a different sport, I appreciate it. For you baseball coaches, I know it's difficult. You guys are getting your arms ramped up. You have a guy on the basketball court, you're thinking, well, he's gonna be behind. He'll be okay. Let him play. We're in a unique position as high school coaches to let our kids play. Let them play the game. To Tyson, Preston, Crusher, thank you guys. We started a business out of my garage in COVID. We started selling golf carts. And natural segue clearly from baseball to golf carts. No clue what we're doing. I tore apart a golf cart, tried to rebuild it, not very good at it, but thought, shoot, I could probably make a couple bucks off this. Preston, Crusher, Tyson, you guys have made it into a legit business. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to be a part of Captain Spiffy. Thank you guys. Coach Tristan McIntyre, T-Mac, thank you for your friendship, always being there for me. Wainwright Middle School to McCutcheon High School, the dorms up in Michigan, everywhere in between. He's a guy that I've taken everything to. He's a terrific person, a great coach. I thought we revolutionized our talks. We have talks occasionally and we get deep into things, and I thought we started taking notes on what our upcoming talks, and we're not so revolutionary as we're just getting old T and we're forgetting things. Thank you to Coach Cass. Coach Cass is on our staff at Lafayette Jeff. Thank you for being there, so I'm clearly not the most experienced in the room. If you guys don't know Coach Cass, he's coached for, is it 97 years now, Coach Cass? He's coached all levels. He is terrific for our kids. I appreciate your time and effort and energy, Coach Cass. Not knowing anything about baseball, because I feel like I'm in a room like this, I don't know nearly as much about baseball as most of you guys do. It reminds me of my first spring training experience, not knowing anything about baseball. The day before I was in minor league camp, they go, hey, they need a spot start in the big league camp. You're gonna hop on the bus, go up to Phoenix, and you guys have the Brewers. Like, great. Know nothing, super nervous, because I was in low A the year before, never been around a big leaguer. And they're getting ready to start the game. Like, oh, you're starting. I thought I was just gonna pitch. You're starting. Ooh, all right, good deal. So warm up, go out. I had no clue that if you're the visiting team at this time and you went to an NL team, the pitcher hit. I had no clue. So I go out, throw the bottom half of the first, come in, they're like, hey, you're in the hole. And I thought they were messing with me, just giving me a hard time. And he's like, no, really, you're in the hole. And I kind of try to act cool, so I walk down to the end of the dugout to look at the lineup card, and Ozzie Guillen, or probably Joey Cora, instead of writing the pitcher's name, they just put pitcher. Really let me know where I stood on the team. But then I realized, like, oh man, I am hitting. So I hurry up, I didn't have time to get batting gloves. I found somebody's helmet that fit my big head, found a bat, get up there, I'm like, all right, time him up. He grounds out. Like, I didn't see a pitch on deck. And then I get up to bat and I realize, man, I have not swung a bat since I swung off that tee for Coach Maloney. I'm in trouble. I was like, all right, I'm not going to go down watching, so I'm going to give it 3 good swings. First swing, pitch comes in, I know it's going to be a strike. I take the biggest swing I could, and I've never swung a wood bat at the time. It helicopters into the Brewers dugout. And so I'm like, oh my goodness. Not knowing we have bat and ball boys, I sprint over the dugout to get it. And I get over there, and their whole dugout is just, they're in tears, laughing. And one of them hands me the bat, all right, thank you, and I run back to the plate. And so everyone's losing it. By this point, I hurry up and strike out, and I go back to the dugout, and I'm rattled. Second inning goes terribly. That was my introduction to big league baseball. Long story short, I appreciate the work you guys do making a guy like me feel inferior with your knowledge of the game. Thank you to Casey, Taylor, Mom, and Dad. This part might be to get hard. Casey, you've always given me everything and never asked for anything in return. And I appreciate that more than you know. Taylor, thank you for always being my biggest fan and always greasing the tracks with Dad before I got home. My father would give me, he softened up at his grandparents' age. He'd give me constructive criticism. Now he calls it critique because criticism's too hard. But my sister Taylor would always make sure she intercepted him and cooled him down a little bit before he got to me. Dad, you came from almost nothing and provided us with everything. And I could not be more proud to call you my son, or you my father, and have you in my life. One of the coolest things he did for us, and this is going to sound crazy, especially to some younger folks I see in here, is he made us pick up trash with him. He had a parking lot cleaning business. So he would make us go out and work. And didn't realize it at the time how unique it was, but as a family, we would go out, hop in the pickup truck, and we would go to Target and Lowe's and Sam's, and we would hop out and pick up the trash, take out the trash bags, sweep the curbs. And I didn't know it yet, but how awesome those nights were. In high school, that's where I took my dates. It was an easy way to weed them out, because after our basketball game, you want to go out? Yeah. Where are we going? Target? All right. Make sure you bring gloves. Those lessons that you taught us growing up, I will never forget. I only hope I can halfway teach my children as well as you've taught me. Mom, you taught us the power of kindness, and nobody on earth does it better than you. And if everyone else got a mom out there, you're right, you heard it. She's the best mom in the world. Thank you for everything. 5 years ago, she was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And I did not realize it at the time. I just thought she was the kindest person. It turns out all of that kindness was hiding her toughness. And how tough she is remarkable. And for what you've done for our family, we love you so much. Kyle, Ken, and Cashin, my children, thank you guys, primarily for listening most of the time, and then also for keeping it real for us. Today, my wife and my other two were we're down here in Indianapolis already, and Cash and I were doing some work at home, and we're getting ready to leave, packing up our stuff, and Cash goes, Dad, I'm really excited for tonight. I'm excited for you to get inducted to the Hall of Fame. I was like, thanks, Cashton. And he goes, yeah, even though it's not the big one. Thanks, Cashton. Oh, Ashley. We met at Michigan. After Michigan got drafted by the White Sox, went to Great Falls, Montana, and was there for a few weeks and realized I'm probably going to be here for the rest of this short season. So I'll fly my girlfriend out, and she can stay for 10 days. So I'm excited. I was kind of alone. I was living in the rookie ball situation, so I'm in a basement with cats and stuff. So it wasn't the best situation. So I'm really excited Ashley's coming out to visit. So she gets there. We have a great first day. She goes to the game. We come home. The next day I get in, and the manager calls me in his office and says, "Hey, you're gonna go up to Indianapolis." And I was like, "Wow, it's great." I don't know what I'm gonna tell Ashley. It wasn't like you could just fly out of Great Falls that day. And my parents had just brought my car out there because I thought I was there for the long haul. So she drove from Great Falls to Lafayette, Indiana. At that point, I kind of figured she was probably in it to win it, and I appreciate that. She made a lot of trips. From Indianapolis, and she has a Michigan degree, so some of these jobs were probably a challenge for her to accept. She was a hostess in Indianapolis. She was a beer garden manager in Winston-Salem. Got her teacher's license while I was in Birmingham. Came out to Charlotte. The red Jeep was following the team bus just about everywhere in the minor leagues. And I really appreciate everything, Ashley. You make everything worthwhile. Thank you to my family. You guys have provided the perfect balance of pressure and praise. I have never, I'm trying to figure out how to say this, I've always been confident in what I'm gonna do. And it's because of the pressure and praise that you have given me. My sisters have praised me, and they've told me how great I am. My father and mother have put pressure on me to be better. And that combination has yielded a confidence in myself that has allowed me to get to certain places that I would not have been able to get to without you guys, and I truly appreciate it. To close, thank you to everyone here, Coach Lehrman, Coach Decker, Coach Ginder, Brian. I am truly excited to be on your team now. One of the toughest things I was significantly injured in 2015. I thought I wouldn't be able to throw again. And I went home thinking I'm gonna miss the paycheck, clearly. But I'm also gonna miss throwing and competing and playing the game of baseball. And about 6 months in, when I was really concerned about never playing again, I recognized, like, I will miss all that, but I'm gonna miss the team. I'm gonna miss being part of a group of people that are driven to accomplish something that is greater than any one of them individually can attain. And I am thrilled to be a part of this team. And the last thing, family, work, and fun, those are kind of how I view my priorities. I want to be with my family, I want to work hard, and I want us all to have fun while we do it. And I think I've heard a lot of people of the high school coaches say, we can't do it unless our family's involved. And when we push all those together, we create something special. So I encourage you to find your team, whoever that is, pour into them, and ride the wave. Thank you guys so much. Thanks everyone for coming out. Thank you guys for a great night.
So I stand up here, I like to say, again, inductees, thank you. We welcome you into the Hall of Fame, but we're not quite finished yet. I'm getting ready to, the second most important thing besides putting the inductees in is having Ray Howard go and call out the ticket numbers. If you've been here before, you know what an event that is. So I want to get some of the closing items out of the way before I introduce Ray. One, again, congratulations to our award recipients and the inductees. Also, a heartfelt thanks to all my colleagues up here, Executive Director, Mr. Abbott, the Executive Council. None of this can be done without you guys. Pictures. Once we're all done, after the raffle's done, Hall of Famers, one, you can, we'll get your plaques boxed up for you, but before you do that, you can take pictures with your family by the plaque. Take all the time you need in order to do that once we're done. Those of you that have been here, every year we're looking for new nominees for the Hall of Fame. if you know somebody, former players, coaches you had in the room, and you would like to nominate somebody to be up here, those nominations for the 2025 Hall of Fame must be in by June 1st, 2024. If you need more specific information about that, please come see me and I can help you with that. As a closing, it's tradition, it's become a tradition since 2004. We always say these remarks. There's closing remarks by Janet Doan, who was the granddaughter of our inductee, Lou Krager, in 2004. She said this poem, and it kind of speaks volumes to what we do here in baseball. The title of the poem is Baseball Heroes. The source is unknown. It says, some people think baseball is just a game, and they are wrong. Baseball is about reaching deep inside yourself to catch the ball that can't be caught, to hit the pitch that can't be hit. It's about your soul. Baseball is about bad hops, bad breaks, bad throws, and bad calls, Mr. Robinson. It is about striking out and making errors. It's about overcoming all those things. Baseball is about kids who become stars. Stars who become heroes, and then heroes who become legends. These guys here represent those sayings, those words. So we like to say those every year when we're closing it out. So again, thank you. After we do the raffle with Mr. Howard, we will then do the pictures and we'll be on our way.